Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where many chase success as though it were a prize hidden in the hands of chance. But the truth is simple. Success is not found. It is forced to appear by those who grow until it has no escape. Control what you can, endure what you must. This is the foundation of an unshakable spirit. Too often we waste ourselves on matters beyond our reach. We argue with the world, we resist what cannot be changed, and we pour out our strength in places where it has no return. This is like trying to stop the tide with bare hands. It cannot be done. Every drop of energy you spend fighting what is immovable is a drop stolen from the work that could truly transform your life. Energy is wealth, more valuable than gold, because it shapes the quality of your days. Where you place it determines who you become. If you spend it chasing shadows, you will always come back empty. But if you spend it on your actions, your habits, your mindset, then each day compounds like interest in a great account. The small choices grow into character, and character builds destiny. Think of the storms that life sends. Illness, loss, failure, betrayal. None of these wait for permission. They arrive as they wish. You cannot prevent their coming, but you can decide how you will meet them. To endure what you must is not weakness. It is strength. It is to stand in the storm without losing your ground. It is to accept the pain without surrendering the will to move forward. Every person has two domains, what lies within and what lies beyond. Within are your thoughts, your actions, your discipline, your response. Beyond are the choices of others, the turning of fortune, the flow of time. Wisdom is found in never confusing the two. When you give your effort to what is yours, progress is inevitable. When you fight against what is not, misery is guaranteed. The one who masters this truth walks with a certain calm. While others rage at the world, they work in silence. While others curse the wind, they adjust their sails. While others waste their days on complaints, they grow steadily, patiently, without fanfare. And it is this steady growth that becomes unbreakable. Control what you can. Your attitude when you rise, the effort you give to your work, the honesty with which you carry yourself. These are yours to guard. Endure what you must. The trials that arrive uninvited, the setbacks that seem unfair, the delays that test your patience. These are not signs to stop, but tests to prove how deep your strength runs. When you live this way, nothing can truly defeat you. Misfortune cannot shake you because you never expected the world to be easy. Success cannot corrupt you because your focus was never on the prize, but on the growth that carried you there. You become steady, deliberate, powerful not because you control everything, but because you no longer waste yourself on what you cannot. You have turned your energy into a weapon and your endurance into armor. Discipline is freedom. This sounds like a paradox to many because they confuse freedom with indulgence. They imagine that freedom means waking whenever they wish, doing whatever pleases them, avoiding effort, escaping duty. But this is not freedom. It is slavery to impulse. True freedom does not come from chasing every desire. It comes from having the strength to govern yourself. To be free is not to be blown about like a leaf in the wind. It is to stand firm with direction, to act with purpose rather than react to every passing urge. A person without discipline is chained, not by others, but by themselves. They are ruled by appetite, by comfort, by fear, by distraction. They say yes to everything except what matters most, and so they drift through life without mastery. Their days are consumed by chaos, and they wonder why peace eludes them. It is because peace cannot grow in disorder. It demands structure, it demands clarity, and clarity is born of discipline. Discipline is not a cage, but a key. The runner who trains each morning is not a prisoner of habit. He is free to achieve what others only dream of. The student who dedicates hours to study is not bound by books. She is free to shape her mind and her future. The worker who refuses to give less than his best is not trapped in toil. He is free from regret, free from mediocrity, free from the weight of wasted potential. When discipline guides you, chaos loses its power. Every action has a place. Every choice has a reason. You no longer live scattered, but directed. This does not mean the road becomes easy. Discipline demands sacrifice. It demands saying no to ease, saying no to distraction, saying no to the comfort that tempts you to stop. But each refusal builds strength. Each act of discipline is an act of liberation from weakness.
Freedom lies in control. Not control of the world around you, but of yourself. The one who cannot resist temptation is not free. The one who cannot rise without being forced is not free. The one who cannot endure discomfort is not free. But the one who commands their own will is untouchable. No fortune, no hardship, no temptation can master them, because they have already mastered themselves. This is why discipline is not the enemy of joy, but its guardian. When you rule yourself, you no longer fear the future, because you know you will endure it. You no longer feel lost in the present, because you know where you are going. You no longer regret the past, because you know you gave your best. What greater freedom can there be than to live without fear, without regret, without chains? This is the gift of discipline. It is not restriction but release, not bondage but power, not punishment but the path to clarity. Obstacles are fuel. Hardship is not the enemy of progress but its very companion. Life does not shape greatness in the absence of trials. It is within difficulty that strength is born, for nothing sharpens the edge of a blade more than friction. To grow, you must be tested. To endure, you must be pressed. Hardship is not a blockade, it is the whetstone that sharpens your edge. Each difficulty you encounter adds weight to your strength and prepares you for greater challenges ahead. The human spirit is forged in struggle. A life without obstacles creates weakness, just as a body without resistance becomes frail. If everything came easily, there would be no reason to strive, no reason to adapt, no reason to grow. Obstacles are the resistance that builds your character, the storms that strengthen your roots, the heat that hardens your steel. You do not become unbreakable by avoiding trials. You become unbreakable by enduring them. Every obstacle holds a lesson. Failure teaches humility and resilience. Delay teaches patience. Loss teaches the value of what remains. Rejection teaches persistence. These lessons cannot be learned in comfort. They can only be revealed in hardship. The one who avoids obstacles avoids growth, while the one who embraces them transforms. Think of how fire shapes iron. It is through the heat and hammering that iron becomes a sword. The same truth applies to you. Your setbacks are the hammer, your pain the fire, your endurance the anvil. With each blow, you are refined. With each trial, your edge becomes sharper. Obstacles are not there to weaken you. They are there to remove what is soft, what is unnecessary, what holds you back from your truest form. When difficulty appears, many shrink and curse their misfortune. But the wise see the hidden gift. They understand that life does not place a barrier without also placing within it the seed of advancement. To overcome is to earn strength that cannot be taken away. To endure is to discover reserves you did not know existed. The mountain that blocks your path is also the peak that elevates your vision. The world does not owe you ease, and comfort will never build resilience. What you overcome becomes part of you, a silent power that follows you into every new challenge. Each obstacle passed is a reminder that you are capable of more than you once believed. Each hardship endured is proof that you can stand where others fall. So do not see obstacles as thieves of your progress, but as the very fuel that drives it. They are not meant to stop you but to strengthen you. Every hardship that rises before you is a chance to sharpen your edge, to add weight to your strength, to prepare you for victories that cannot be won by comfort. The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. Detach from noise, attach to purpose. The world is full of voices competing for your attention, each one louder than the last, each one urging you to scatter your focus across 1,000 trivial pursuits. Distraction is the greatest thief of potential, for it does not merely steal your time, it fragments your spirit. The noise is constant, opinions, trends, temptations, demands, but none of it can command you unless you allow it. To live with strength, you must learn to silence the noise, to withdraw from the chaos around you and return to the clarity within. Noise is not only the chatter of others, it is also the restless pull of your own impulses. The craving for approval, the need for comparison, the hunger for instant gratification, these are the inner echoes of the world's distractions. To detach from noise is to discipline your attention, to reclaim your energy from all that does not serve your higher path. Without this discipline, Your days will be consumed by what is urgent but meaningless, and what is meaningful will forever be postponed. Purpose is the compass that cuts through the fog. It is not found in the opinions of others or in fleeting pleasures, but in the alignment between your values and your actions. To attach to purpose is to anchor yourself in something larger than comfort, larger than applause, larger than fear. It is to ask, what truly matters, and then live each day as if the answer is sacred. Growth begins the moment your choices are no longer dictated by noise, but by the call of this deeper reason. This is not an easy task. To detach from noise requires sacrifice. You must walk away from the distractions that once entertained you. You must decline the endless invitations to shallow pursuits. You must accept that silence is often uncomfortable, because in silence you confront yourself. But in that confrontation, you uncover truth. You discover which desires are yours and which have been planted by the noise of the crowd. When your actions align with purpose, clarity arrives. Decisions become simpler, because the question is no longer, what is easiest, but, what brings me closer to who I am meant to become? Effort becomes lighter, because you no longer move in 10 directions at once, but in one. Progress becomes visible, because each day builds upon the last instead of scattering in fragments. Purpose does not remove obstacles, but it gives you the strength to endure them, because you know why you must. Detach from noise, not once, but daily. Each day the world will try to reclaim your attention, to drown you in its distractions. But each day you have the choice to return to your center, to listen to the quiet voice of reason that whispers beneath the clamor. When you choose purpose over noise, growth is no longer accidental. It becomes deliberate, steady, and unstoppable, because nothing has more power than a person who has silenced the world and devoted themselves to what truly matters.